Good to go in just a minute, y'all. That actually, some of these free songs for, oop, that's the wrong game. Hang on. There we go. Some of these songs, on the free YouTube, like I got to use the YouTube music. Don't want to get struck for anything. Don't want to have to risk it. And for a long time, it was like, man, what am I coming back to? But they have a couple on there that are like, all right, it's a little Top Gunny, and I can dig that. But we are back and live again for the Dallas Stars at the Minnesota Wild. So far, the Stars are in the lead 1-0. Let's take a look at the shots. I thought I had this all ready to go, but I'm me. So go figure, I do not. Shots are 10-9 as we wait to get back from commercial break. I think I accidentally hit pause. Give me a second there. Five. Shit. Yes, we are back from commercial, getting ready for puck drop for the second period. The lone goal to Jason Robertson on the power play, assisted by Heiskanen and Duchesne. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, the Sabres and the Kings tied at 1. Shots are 15-10 in favor of the Sabres, 13-13 to go in the second. In San Jose, 12.5 to go in the second. Flyers are up on the Sharks 1-0. Shots are 11-7 in favor of Philadelphia. And the Kraken in Columbus against the Blue Jackets. Columbus up 1-0, 14-11 to go in the first. Shots are 5-4 Seattle. Still to come, the Islanders and the Canadiens, the Maple Leafs and the Senators, the Blues and the Canucks, the Bruins and the Red Wings, and the Lightning and the Oilers. Earlier, the Knights getting whooped 4-1, and the Penguins sneaking on back to win in a shootout against the Jets. Fans, hit the panic button. Vegas seriously needs to figure this slump out. Yes, sir. Can't blame goaltending all the time if you don't score goals. Yes, sir. Tomorrow at Dallas is a must win. Yes, sir. I agree with all of that. Now, you've heard it from me. Hilly getting pulled after allowing 3 for 3 was not on him. I'll credit he should have had maybe 1 goal. But the rest is a complete collapse of the skaters in front of him. 1 goal in 187 minutes of hockey for the Golden Knights, going over 150 minutes without scoring a goal. Vegas needs a miracle. Now in Minnesota, Harley chasing the puck back into his own zone, getting a little help, but he tosses it up the low wall. Stars clear into neutral. Left to Robertson. A pass across the top of the high circle is shot by Bork. Goes wide. Bork collects in front, trying to feed it towards the middle to Johnston. It's collected by Robertson up high. He hits Gustafson with it. I don't think Gustafson even saw the puck. He just knew it hit him. And now Boldy with it back the other way on the high boards, working into the corner, and he gets it stripped. Dallas is going to kick back to neutral. Duchesne collects at the red line, but his pass gets picked off on the way. Minnesota into the Stars zone. Quick shot off the high boards. A follow-up off the low wall. Faber gets shut down by Ottinger. Stars collect, and Ben does not clear. Faber keeps it in on the low point. Pass back behind Otter. Fed out front. Good stick by Lindell to deflect that pass. And now the Stars. Robertson hits the red line. Dumps and chases as the rest of his team goes for a change. Gustafson will play it to the low boards. Faber fires it all the way up ahead, but it will be an icing on Minnesota. 18:15 to go in the second period. Shots are 11-10 Dallas. Oh, Gustafson saw the puck. He just whiffed. It hit the pipe. It hits the pipe, goes to Gustafson's right. He looks left. Goal leaders. You have three of six goal leaders are on the ice right now. 2 for Minnesota. Face off to the right of Gustafson. Won by the Stars. Turn and shoot from the blue line. Hits bodies out front. Steele has it as he turns back towards the goal. Pass to the point. Lindell throws it towards the net. It's tipped, but goes down to the low boards. Fed around the back of the net. Up and out of play. Face off coming back in front of Gustafson. Do that. Hey, you know what? Oh shit, I'm bouncing the thing. Sorry. It sucks. It sucks that the Golden Knights are playing so bad. It sucks because the stream, like, Chad has been a lot more active during games the last few games, and it is so much more fun. Like, I enjoy doing the play-by-play, but just talking and shooting the shit and, you know, thinking of strategy or trying to figure out what's going on. Like, I love that so much. So it's been a lot of fun the last few streams, but it has sucked being a Golden Knights fan. And it's like, okay, yeah, let's come watch some hockey. Like, shit, we suck. But I'm having a great time watching my team play like shit. It's making me so miserable, dude. So happily miserable. It's such a weird feeling. Puck into the Stars zone off of the low boards. Minnesota. Excuse me. Minnesota looking for something to do with it, but the Stars end up coming away. Bishop behind his net. And with time, the Stars will finally start working their way out. Pass high and tipped into the zone. Minnesota is going to be the one to come away with it. Wild out to the middle into the Star zone with speed. Cuts to the middle. A good attempt. It looks like Dallas followed it in, but I think Ottinger ended up making the save. There's a lot of contact right out front of the crease. One of the Stars ended up going into Ottinger. It looked like he pushed everything into the net, but I think Otter was able to make the save. If he was a right-handed goalie, that might have been forced into. Let's see. Let's see how far he ends up getting pushed past the goal line because he went into the net. No, he didn't. Okay, my bad. It looked a lot worse in the first angle. He ended up catching Otter's right leg, and Otter spun instead of going into the net. I am sorry for wasting 30 seconds of your time. Back to the game. Jamie Benn getting held clearly in neutral. I don't like the guy, but a penalty is a penalty. Gets his hand held so he can't make a play with the stick. Minnesota into the Dallas zone. Into the high corner. A good play for the Stars, stripping the puck. I got to bring my cheat sheet up because I can't remember these guys right now. Fed to the top of the low circle. Shot by Minnesota. Goes well wide. Back into the middle of the ice. And the Stars fight it off into neutral. Pretty sure I know a couple of these guys, but I hate calling it wrong. Ooh, Stars almost get away with one. Bork making an aggressive play, but Minnesota's able to get the puck into Stars zone. Stars recover, get it to neutral, fed across to Robertson, who tips it just across the blue line, and Minnesota resets. Boldy racing back down the low boards, gets behind the net, trying to feed it out front. Yurov not able to get the shot towards the net. Back to the low point. Faber sends it behind on the boards. And the Stars collect. Lindell from behind his own net makes the pass up ahead to Robertson. And now Johnston circles back before trying to enter with speed. Robertson unable to maintain the puck as it comes to him and is forced out the other way. Hey, to Loveless, you ever go skating yourself? What's up, man? Hey, what's up, buddy? Not in a long time, man. Unfortunately, it's like other than going to the gym, I don't really do a whole lot these days. But it has been, I used to. It's been a long time. What about you, bud? Steele passes it back to Bischel, who puts a shot on Gustafson, and Gustafson will freeze it. Face off coming in the Minnesota zone. But yeah, actually, one of my ex, I was trying to work it out, and it's a lot because I don't have the equipment, and the equipment is expensive as hell. But the girl I was dating, her sister's baby daddy, I guess, was playing in a men's league, and I always tried to get going with him, and it just never worked out. Only roller skating, not ice. Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've ice skated. Once it was funny. Once I learned to tie the ever-loving shit, at least the ever-loving shit out of the skate so that there's no movement, it became instantly easy as shit to ice skate. Like, I truly believe people just don't tie them tight enough so the skates wobble beneath them, and that's why it's so hard. I actually, it's funny. That's one of the few memories of ice skating I have. Because it's been so long. Lucky to have a rig about 20 minutes away. Yeah, that's awesome. From girlfriend is really good. She used to be a figure skater. I suck ass, can't afford skates, but yeah, so see, that's sick, man. Like going and doing something with the girlfriend like that. I wish my ex, any of my exes, would have had any interest in that shit. Because I'd have been down to go. There's rinks around. It's one of those things. You would think in 113-degree heat, I would be like, dude, let me go ice skating. But there's so many practices, and it's only open for free skate for 2 hours every third Wednesday. Like, there's so many of those things. Been drinking Grammar's fucked right now. Hey, cheers, buddy. You know what? I didn't put my beer from last night in the fridge. Otherwise, I'd have one with you. Maybe tonight. We'll see. I need to go to the gym, so I don't know. But maybe if we stick around for Tampa and Edmonton later tonight, I might have one with you. Or I might have one then. Skated but not ice. It's just like anything else. If I had a pair of skates, that would be my exercise. If I had a rink close by, I'd probably just ride to the rink. Or if I had skates in a rink close by, I'd just hop on the bike, ride to the rink, go get cardio. Like that would be my cardio every day, instead of hitting the stair stepper or the treadmill or something. Big shot from the top of the low circle comes right back to the shooter. I just realized I should have his name. I was Spurgeon. Is that Boldy? Okay, let's see. I got to take a look. We played Minnesota not too long ago, and we watched them play, so I should know their team a lot better than I do. All right, man. Like, I know Middleton because that dude's mustache alone has 3 bodies. We'll see how we go, or as we go. Take a quick look at the other games happening. Sabres and the Kings still tied at 1. 62 seconds for LA on the power play. Take a quick peek over there, see if it's see what's going on. And then the Flyers and Sharks are tied at 1, and the Blue Jackets are up on the Kraken 2-0. They have local hockey teams and stuff that are always there busy with stuff. They have some great skaters there and free skates. Watching the hockey games are always fun, dude. I love everything about hockey, dude. When there's times where I've walked to my buddy's house and there's a couple of kids playing just ball hockey with shoes in front of the house, and even that catches my attention. Of course, I'm not going to be the random dude watching a couple of kids out there playing, so I realized how that sounded as I said it, but it's not like, it is fun to watch, like, even kids in the street coming up with their little trick plays and making their call outs. Like, I just love hockey. And so seeing the men's league plays, watching like the Silver Knights, all that shit, watching the college teams play, like the juniors, all of it is fucking awesome, man. I just love this game. Say because the youth is always getting better than we are. Dude, that's welcome to life, brothers. Welcome to life. All right, real quick. Buffalo shot stopped by a stick, and they're going to go back the other way. I tuned in once the power play was over. Let's see if LA can make an attack here. They cannot. All right, let's go. We'll go back to our game. But dude, that's welcome to getting old, man. Some of the shit I see, and like the only thing that bothers me, ooh, how is that not going to be a penalty either way? Dude, the guys just absolutely tackled each other. I'm not exactly sure what just happened, but that looked like it had to have been a penalty. Maybe that's on me because it wasn't, but yeah, dude, like the only, like I was talking about it, Kaprizov is incredible. Macklin Celebrini is incredible. Connor Bedard is incredible. The only thing I don't like about those three is when they get hit cleanly, everybody loses their shit and attacks the guy that hit them. That's the shit that's got to go away. I'm sick of fights and penalties, or like roughing penalties for a huddle after. I'm sick of that shit happening on clean hits. And most of the clean hits are either happening to guys like McDavid and then everybody freaks out, or it's a clean hit, but it's a big hit, so let's go attack the guy. That's the one thing, and it happens a lot to the young kids. The young kids are a little too protected. Jason Robertson was very protected in his first couple years. I wish they were allowed to get their welcome moment without a fight, because sometimes you get hit. But I could say that a lot about a lot of people, not just the young kids. I just notice it a lot with them. So he's getting better, stronger, faster. Like we always thought would be the best, but his records will be broke. Nah, Michael Jackson will still hold all the records, bro. He was just a phenomenal talent. No, I know you're talking to Jordan. No, there will always be a better, for sure. Like Gretzky's goal record was broken by Ovechkin, right? The thing is, we're less likely to see all around athletes the way we used to. We're gonna see you're gonna see guys that are a lot more dialed into one aspect of the game. Now the younger kids, it's the speed game. They rely on their speed and their hand movements and their foot speed to make cuts, make moves, circle, cycle, all that shit. so it's changed hockey. Like hockey isn't, except for a couple other teams, but it's really not as physical as it used to be. Everybody wants to be the faster team. And I've said it forever that, you know, you need the physical guys because that's how you slow down fast teams. But that's just the trend we're going on. I think we go to hockey. I think Crosby. Oh, absolutely, dude. Like it's with hockey, the goat is Gretzky. That's just plain and simple, dude. Like it is what it is. In our generation, you know, anytime after the 90s and since Gretzky, all that, Sidney Crosby is the best player. Now, Connor McDavid is phenomenal. Absolutely. But he is not a team guy. He is a Connor McDavid guy. Sidney Crosby is phenomenal, and he makes every person on the ice around him better. Sidney Crosby is a generational talent. You know, like he has the Stoney's brain with a goal scorer's ability. He's one of the best puck handlers in the league. He is an absolute artist when it comes to cutting up defenses. It's just absolutely. Hopefully I get to Blackhawks game later this year in Chicago. Dude, that would be awesome. Close up shot by, I think this is a name I can never pronounce. Hang on. Sorry, I forgot I was watching hockey for a minute. Yeah, right. Hirokoen. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. He's number 49. Trying to hear it. Yeah, I didn't hear it, so I'm just gonna end up butchering it. But no, that's awesome. Like I say, any live hockey is fucking awesome. It's better when you have a good team that plays well, all that stuff. But man, it is so fun. It is just such a great sport. Dumped in across neutral, puck comes right back to Dallas territory. Lindell can't get it out, but he's able to cut Zuccarello off enough without drawing the penalty. So good play by 23 for Dallas. Right back in. Pass trying to go towards the center. Hits the body instead of the stick, but Minnesota maintains in the Dallas zone. Back behind Ottinger. Puck coming to the low boards. Spurgeon sets it backwards. Big shot. Hits a skate. It ends up being a perfect pass to the middle. A shot from inside the low circle, hits a body, and Minnesota has to chase it all the way back. Spurgeon making a bad pass. Dallas recovers, and now they control for a minute in the zone. Duchesne trying to work it below the net, but the battle for the puck goes to Minnesota. Bunting. Ooh, actually, Bunting got helped by Jamie Benn, and Dallas ends up recovering. The pass across the blue line to Bichel is way too hard. And the loose puck ends up on the low boards. Back to the high point. Dallas dumps into the zone. Bichel skating towards the wall. Gets it back behind the net. But Bunting cannot win the race. Pass comes from Minnesota all the way across. Jack Hughes will collect. Make the pass up the middle. And Minnesota a double cut. And they score. Wrong goal. Wrong goal horn. Hang on. Damn it. I screwed up. They don't get the Golden Knights goal horn. But Minnesota has scored to tie it up 1-1. Damn it. I had it. I thought I had it all good to go. But that was Jack Hughes the whole way, head up, seeing Brink wide open up the middle, and then Brink does a great job protecting the puck against Myers. Forehand draws Otter to the left post, and he goes straight to the backhand. It's a walk-in kick it. View ain't no stopping us now. Backhand into an open net. Let's go. Let me see if I can remember where. Goal with smoke. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Now, let me see if I can find. Yep. Okay, we'll use that one. That may be loud as shit. I just thought about that. Sorry. 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 That didn't have any sound, did it? Hang on. Dude, why do none of these have sound? What the hell's going on? Sorry, guy. We're at a commercial break. Give me just a second. I have no idea why there is no sound to these. And I'm not sure how to go about fixing it. So I'm going to give up in a second here, but I'd like to see maybe this one. Hey, we got it. Okay. Okay. Yay! I hate having to fix this shit while we're doing it, but that's on me. You ever take a drink of cold water and you didn't realize that apparently your body was craving one thing and it was ice cold water because it's the best thing that's ever touched your lips? That is how amazing that drink was right there. That was incredible. That is not what I wanted. No, okay, yeah, great pass across the ice, and then I don't know what Bischel and Bunting were doing. They both went to Foligno and just on the low wall and just abandoned the rest of the ice. So that's a goal for Bobby Brink, his 15th of the season, assisted by Quinn Hughes. And Jared Spurgeon in his 1,000th game, grabbing a point. Great play off the boards. Dallas now working into the zone. Bork leaves it back. Fake shot pass back up front. Bork comes through the center, kind of gets taken down as he's not able to get a shot on net. And now Faber tips it ahead for Zuccarello. Throwing it down around the boards on the low wall. Tarasenko fights for it. Robertson picks it out, throws it towards the open ice. Looked like a trip there. I'm not seeing a call. And now Spurgeon walks through the zone. Shot goes off the left pad of Ottinger. Follow up from Mark. Who is that? Is that Hartman? That was. The follow-up from Hartman goes off the blocker and out of play. .709 to go in the second period. Shots are 18-14 in favor of Dallas, but Minnesota has tied it up. Face off to the left of Otter. Won by Dallas and kicked out into neutral. Collected by Spurgeon in his own zone. He will leave it back. And here goes Hughes with speed. Makes the pass to Boldy. Boldy decides to carry it down behind the net. Bischel putting pressure on him, and we get a hold. And a penalty. Bischel is going to the box, bitching and moaning like he does. But I say that about every single player that isn't a Golden Knights player, so take that for what it's worth. Oh, dude, it's dark as shit. Hang on. Man, I just looked up and realized it's on camera. It is way darker in this room than it actually is. Like, God bless, dude. Oh. Minnesota going on the man advantage with 6:46 left in the second period. Yep, I'll explain it. Check my computer temps real quick. Hartman's bitching about something. I was trying to figure out what, but face off from the low side of neutral. Boldy drags it away from the dot. And Jack Hughes leaves it back. Boldy with speed goes low boards to Tarasenko. Back to Boldy on the low wall. Out towards the middle. Cut off by Beck. And he will clear it all the way down to Gustafsson. First man back is a star. Somehow gets it past him. Is that Steele? Steele came sneaking up on Gustafsson, but Gustafsson got the puck past him. Minnesota into Dallas territory. Boldy can't handle the pass as a good stick by Lindell knocks it away. Minnesota gets it eventually. Zuccarello trying to work it up the low boards to Tarasenko gets cut off, and now you have a one-on-one the other way. Blackwell cuts up and dumps it around the boards. And Steele putting on the last moment of pressure to force Minnesota to kill some seconds. And they're right back in the other way. Zook to Jack Hughes to the high wall. Boldy throws it towards the net, hits a body, and it's knocked down. Back to Jack Hughes on the low point. Hughes trying to go down the low wall. Not a lot on the pass, but it gets through. Tarasenko puts it off the boards to Hartman, and it's kept in. Back to Tarasenko on the low boards. He cannot find the puck. And it is knocked all the way back for Jack Hughes to chase down. 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. 5 minutes to go in the second. Hughes works through the zone, and he's cut off. Dallas sends it right back down to Gustafsson. From behind the net goes Spurgeon. He'll leave it back. With speed up the middle into the zone, past to the low side, and Brink gets shut down by Otter. Pass up high to Faber. Back to the, sorry, I skipped a step. Back to Brink, back to Faber. Shot goes wide, dumped in from the high point. Right behind Otter, Bischel collects, and we are back to full strength hockey. Battle for the puck in the high corner of the Dallas zone. Bischel, Brink, Myers, and Johansson all looking for it. Heiskanen comes to help out. Urov pinches down to help out. And now the puck into the low corner, up the low boards. Fed out into neutral, knocked down by Spurgeon and set right back in. Sturm trying to chase it down, but Otter's able to get it up the high wall, and Dallas clears. Robertson to Heiskanen. Red line and in. Deflected. Puck goes straight up in the air. Brodin gets back first. But Bork's in to take the puck through the corner. Trying to come up to Harley at the low point. Minnesota takes it and heads back the other way. Trennan making a good play at the line. But Dallas will immediately clear back into neutral. Neither team having a lot of possession time. On the low boards. Bork going at it with hate. Or it gets tripped. Dallas is going to the power play.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Pissed me off when I Wink, do you have access to a laptop or a desktop where you can type some things in and go find some things? Because I'm more than happy to share with you where to watch the game, man. Because that pisses me off so far beyond belief that like we haven't paid to watch a game and we always pay to watch. Fuck you, YouTube. Never mind. No, it's just I have no sympathy for going and finding alternatives to watch the game because dude, you have to pay for the privilege to watch the sport, and then they black it out in the local market. Like, dude, the amount of times that Golden Knights games were blacked out when the game's happening literally not even 20 miles that way. Like, as the bird flies, it's probably like 12. As the bird flies, the crow flies, whatever. But it is absolutely obnoxious, and that's why I have no qualms about being like, yeah, shove it, dude. Find alternative ways to watch the game. Don't be paying this $80 a year for the privilege of watching hockey. So annoying. That is still so sick, dude. He's the captain. He's playing his 1000th game. And they in a Minnesota sweater. And they give him the silver stick. That is awesome. That is just awesome. Get Sling TV. Yeah. That's one way of doing it. There's a bunch of different like boxes and USB shit to plug into your TV. There's a million things all over the place where you could get like either make a one-time purchase and then get everything, or find the websites that offer, like, I love this site and I won't go into detail. I want to say, Jonathan, maybe you were the one that suggested, but I can't remember. I really can't remember who suggested it to me, but it's like the delay on it is nothing comparatively. This one's actually quite a bit. Like, this one's really slow, actually, now that I look at it. There's got to be a better feed. Wait a second here. I just realized how far I actually was behind, but it's usually really good. Oh, look, we're going to go through games. Yeah. Red Zone's a good one, typically for... Okay, yeah, see, this feed's only like 10 seconds behind. Ooh, and a trip. See if it gets called. Dallas is on a power play. They should be going to a 5-on-3. But Otter is still in goal, so no trip. I'm going to go ahead and hit it for him. It's like Red Zone's great. Or like that Red Zone. NHL Network's great when you have like sometimes they have 7 games that start at 4 o'clock. So that's really good to have. You can just bounce around. So it wouldn't have been you that mentioned it. Like I do everything. I mean, obviously I do everything on the computer. So movies, TV shows, sports, the Olympic, like whatever I was wanting to do. There's always a way for me to do it more cost effective way. Yeah. There, minute and a quarter to go in the second, 15 seconds on the man advantage. Always hooks me up with the feed, but it's still bullshit. Yeah. No, it's absolute bullshit. And that's, like I said, I do it more out of principle than anything else. Like, fuck you. I'm not signing up for nighttime for $80 a year so that I can watch 82 games of hockey. Like, I have to sign up for night times, and that only gives me Golden Knights hockey and maybe Silver Knights hockey, but that's not for any other games, just the Golden Knights. You're going to charge me almost $1 a game. Fuck you. Yeah, I'm going to be, yeah, right on. Like, no, man, if you could rock it, it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to have. All those. Like, it would be better for me to have all that stuff so I could be a lot more on time. Because, I mean, who wants to hear a play-by-play for something you could watch 20 seconds ahead? But, fuck, I have a big fuck you mentality towards Disney and NHL, ESPN, everything that's gone to streaming. Man, I'm over it. 2 seconds in the period. Zuccarello can't quite connect with Hughes, and we will go into intermission, tied 1-1. We get that power play off of there, and we'll throw another game on while we sit here and just shoot the shit. Yeah, everybody's in intermission right now, so never mind. We'll just sit here and shoot the shit, I guess. You know what? Instead, I was going to sit here and shoot the shit, but since we're at intermission, I'm going to take a few minutes. I know we just got back from taking a break, but it's so hot in this room. I'm going to take a few minutes to just walk out of the room and chill and try and cool down. This is snack time, drink time, hang out for a little bit, and we'll come back for the second period. Throw the tunes back on while I do that. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that in a little bit here, Jonathan. I'm guessing it's going to be as brutal as it was last game. Boom, 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 boom. I feel like I need to make a little intro video with that song because I love using it for the start of stream. I've been having fun messing around with Blender lately. Anyway, we're getting ready for the second period. Should still have a few minutes, but at least one of these games should be back. We'll figure out which one looks like it's a good one. Yeah, about 5 minutes. Sabres, Kings, Flyers, Sharks, both tied 1-1, and the Blue Jackets are 3-1 over the Kraken. Let's check in on the Sabres and the Kings. Sabres, Kings. Oh. Buffalo controlling in the low corner of the LA zone, and they lose the puck. Clark works it up and out of the zone. It looks like it got touched by a Sabre, so no icing as Buffalo collects from behind their own net. All the way up ahead, back behind Kemper. I actually don't know who's in net. I think it's Lankinen and Kemper, but LA's going to freeze it in the crease. Nope, it is Forsberg. I forgot Kemper played the other night when we were watching. So it's Luukkonen and Forsberg in net. So far seem to be both are having really good games, actually. They got 15 minutes to go in the third, and the shots are 23-22. Flyers and the Sharks shots are 19-13. So yeah, goalies are winning or are keeping this. That's both teams in it in LA. Holy shit, I can talk. LA has to chase the puck way back into their own zone, and they're able to get up ahead to neutral. Couple bodies flying around with speed, but losing his skates as LA goes in. I think that's right for LA. Looking at a decent opportunity till he lost an edge. LA turns it up, keeping it inside the zone, but the shot goes wide off the low boards to the point. High boards. Looking to shoot. He makes the pass to the high corner. Turn and shot from the hard angle, and Luukkonen makes the save. Actually, a fairly even game, which you would expect it being 1-1. But that hits 26-19 in favor of Minnesota. Both sides having a good number of block shots as well. Peeking on the last 30 seconds of the Flyers power play in San Jose. This one is way behind. Holy shit. See if this other feed is anywhere closer. No, these feeds are... No. Excuse me, I'm getting confused because I use the app to rely on how close to real time we are. And the app says there's 25 seconds left on the power play, but I come in here and there's 25 seconds gone on the power play. It's like they started the timer counting up and then paused it instead of counting down. So that just threw me off. But Philly just went up 2-1 on the Sharks. Dvorak scoring on the power play. I thought we would be back by now. I guess we can go back to Buffalo and LA. Makes more sense. Yeah, dude, I was so thrown off right there because it's like, all right, a minute 43 on the power play, 25 seconds on the power play. So I'm looking for a better feed, which these feeds have been great. That's why I love this site. And then I look down and the clock stopped at 18:30. I look up, the clock stopped at 18:30. It's like, oh, wait. It's like, what? Great. Now LA is going to commercial as we're waiting for the commercial break to be done in Minnesota. Dude, I just got hit with hunger in a way that I can't even describe. All of a sudden, I am starving. Find something to eat when we get done here. Oop. All right, we're finally starting to catch up here. Make sure we have our cheat sheet ready to go as we are finally coming back. See, something like that is worth it. Texas season pass. Watch Rangers baseball all season plus 2 free game tickets for $120. So you're getting 162 games plus 2 tickets to the game for $120. Now, I don't know how much tickets usually are to go see the Rangers play, but that sounds like an awesome deal. Like that's you're getting something more than just, hey, you get to watch the team. You know, like if it's ends up being, well, 2 tickets would cost me $50, so the package is $70. That maybe not as much, but if they would be, you know, if half of the cost goes to the tickets, then, you know, you're in pretty good shape there. Sorry, I'm still complaining about management with Vegas, and all they have to do is have a couple locals nights to where they just cut prices. The problem is they sell all their tickets to resellers, so they can't really do anything about ticket prices because nobody's buying them from them. I think I bitched about that enough. Sorry, I keep bouncing the camera. I didn't realize my chair was touching the leg. Hang on a second here. I need to look at something. Funny because looking at my camera looks crooked as shit, but I think it's actually okay. Fuck into the low corner of the LA zone. Everybody fighting for it. Ooh, good little pop to the shoulders to knock everybody down. And Buffalo comes away with it. Tage Thompson trying to fight for possession, but Byfield ends up with it. Can't clear as Thompson keeps it in. And then a stick knocks the loose puck away. Buffalo collects, works through neutral, puck all the way down to Forsberg, and a big hit down low. Buffalo not able to keep it in. Now LA able to dump it to the high corner in the Sabres zone. Little battle for it. Buffalo comes away. And they are through neutral. Ooh, good little move to avoid the hip check. And down into the low corner. Buffalo's not able to do anything, and LA clears it all the way back down. All right. We are back to puck drop in Minnesota. Yurov on the dot against Johnston. Minnesota wins it. Boldy dumps it in from the blue line and then lightly falls over. That was just funny to watch. But Dallas able to clear back into neutral, immediately sent back the other way by Johansson. Boldy into the high corner, working against Harley. Gets the puck into the low corner to Johansson. Up to Jack Hughes on the blue line. Shot and hits right in front. I think Otter made the stick save. Puck up to the high boards. Dallas comes away with it. And the Stars will dump it backwards. Puck all the way down behind Gustafson. Steele gets there first. Tries to set his man on the low boards, but cannot connect. And the Wild are back the other way. A little bit of space, 3-on-3. Into the skates of a Star. Recovered by Minnesota. Loose puck just off the side of the crease. Eventually, Otter does cover it up. Now you've got a little get together. Hartman and who was that? Blackwell going at it for just a moment, but both of them kind of back off each other right away. That Lindell tries to backhand it clear, ends up hitting a body. Puck comes down, or ends up right on a Minnesota stick. Otter makes the first save, but it's a loose puck right in front of him on the left side of the top of the crease. Just over a minute gone in the third. Shots are 22-19 Minnesota. Otter has a 9-2-9 save at the Wild. Like, that is nuts. I wonder what that's like to have a goalie that's that consistent and good. Damn it, sorry. I keep bouncing my leg and then I look over at the camera and I'm going to end up making someone seasick. Face off on the dot to the left of Otter. Dallas comes away with it. Heiskanen up the middle of the ice, goes low board to Blackwell. Stops up and passes it back to the blue line. Heiskanen towards the net, hits a body out front. Zuccarello stepped in front of that one. Puck in the air, back to neutral. Minnesota dumps in from the red line, and Andre will slow it down for Lindell. Lindell goes right in front of him to Duchesne, who turns right back around to Heiskanen, and Dallas tips it deep behind Gustafson. Middleton there first, able to swing it all the way back into neutral. Dallas can't clear. And now the Wild controlling the zone on the low boards to the low point. Shot by Middleton, stopped by Otter. Dallas again can't clear. Brink able to work it down into the low corner to Foligno. Back up the boards to the point. Middleton across the blue line. Here's that. Goshen gets it into the high corner, and now everybody's fighting for it. Marley? I can't remember his name now. Puck goes behind Otter. Bischel recovers, works up the high boards. Myers gets it cleared out to neutral, but it's a quick turnaround for the Wild. Swung back in all the way around the boards. Harley tries to go below the net, but Minnesota gets there first. Tenen can't quite feed it out. Eventually, he does feed it out front. But Dallas is there to swipe it away back into the Minnesota territory. The Wild work right back through neutral, but they're stopped at the blue line. Back the other way goes Dallas, hard into the low corner behind the net. Good pressure by Hughes, but Dallas breaks through. Left into the high corner. Minnesota recovers, and a nice shove. Hang on. Dallas is being very physical right now. Ernie down low using his shoulder. Puck into the low corner, and Dallas recovers momentarily before Tenen takes it off the stick of Bastian. Through middle, Boldy picks the puck off a skate, and he turns back towards his defenseman. Everybody going for a change. Hughes feeds it up ahead. Johansson in, but the pass gets tipped all the way back to the Minnesota Dots. Boldy behind his own net as him and Hughes cross pass. All the way up ahead on the pass. No touch. It is an icing on Minnesota. Just under 4 minutes gone in the third. Shots are 23-19. Sorry, in favor of Minnesota. So no shots on goal since I believe almost 4 minutes gone. So no shots in about 3 minutes of hockey. Heiskanen from the low point across the blue line to Lindell. Down to Robertson, who loses it into the corner. Faber there. But Dallas Johnston ends up recovering. Robertson feeds it to the front of the net, and it gets knocked away. Minnesota headed back into Dallas territory. Boldy forced to hold up on the pass from Faber, but he dumps it deep around the boards. Johnston to the puck first. Against Yurov, Johnston's able to get it down low. From the net comes back to Johnston. And Minnesota's going to give him some space to Heiskanen on the low wall, back to Johnston. Entering on the low side of the zone, he passes it to the middle. And Lindell cycles back to throw it across the Robertson across the blue line to Myers. Myers dumps it down low, and Johnston tries to bring it back to the blue line before leaving it in the corner for Blackwell. Blackwell across the ice. Myers with a shot hits a body way out high. Johansson takes the puck, and he is having a hard time standing. It is clear Minnesota is able to get a less injured body on the ice. Bischel back up ahead, makes the pass on the high wall. Dallas is able to get in. Steele down on the high boards, gets some help, but he loses the puck to Bogosian. Up to Zuccarello, hits the red line all the way across the ice. Minnesota is in. Forced back to the high boards. Tarasenko under heavy pressure. And it looked like Zook might have been taken down, but no call. Through neutral, Bogosian takes it in his own territory across to Jack Hughes, but the pass is a little off, so they're going to play catch behind their own net. Counting down to 6 minutes gone in the third period. Minnesota gets turned around just across the blue line. Duchesne loses the pass in neutral, though. Minnesota back in, letting Brink chase it down, but they're going to call offsides on the Wild. 6 minutes gone in the third. They took a shot away. It was 23-19. Now it is 22-19. So they ended up taking what I believe was the only shot of the period away from Minnesota. Oh, no, I was way off, dude. Minnesota has 5 shots this period. How the fuck did that happen? I must have missed a lot. My bad. I am very shocked to see that they have 5 goals this period, or 5 shots on goal this period. I have no idea what that. I might have gotten lost in the LA Sabres game. That's LA Buffalo game. The Goat Arnett and ever since been hard to watch, and not think Brodeur would have stopped that. You can torture yourself with those thoughts, man, but you never know. There is no solution. Like, there's no answer to that question. So, up the high boards in the zone. Pass across the blue line. Left at the top of the low circle. Shot gets tipped wide. Hughes collects it from behind the net. Goes back to Faber at the blue line. Back to Hughes with a lot of space. He makes a cut towards the middle. Shoots, and he hits the skates of the guy standing in front of him. Beck doing a good job to get in the way. Pass to the low boards. Faber carries it around the net up to the high wall. All the way across to Jack Hughes. Back to Faber on the blue line. Back to Hughes. Cycling towards the middle. He cuts back towards the low circle. Shot, save, Otter. Follow up with the backhand by Haight. And the puck goes flying back into neutral. Jack Hughes from his own territory on the low boards tosses it in. And it is an icing on the Minnesota Wild. Yeah, I must be blending that. Checking in on that Kings game completely threw me for a loop, because I'm like, I don't remember there being. And then now that I'm sitting here watching it, I'm like, yeah, there were a couple of opportunities that it didn't look like they got to the net. It looked like they had bodies, but Otter was just in the right spot. I think I forgot about 3 or 4 of those. 12:28 to go in the third. Face off to the left. I just drew a total blank shot of Gustafson. Shot comes in. Gustafson makes the save. Oh, man, my brain completely erased his name for a second there. All the way back down. A little fighting between Johansson and Lindell. Puck comes back up the low boards. Haskinen's going to be able to take it away and get it to neutral. But Johnston gets stripped, and it's right back in. Lindell to Heiskanen. Working up the low boards, puck's in neutral, a hit in neutral, but the puck was already sent in towards Otter, who gloves it, drops it, and leaves it for number 4. Puck up and into neutral as Dallas enters right through the middle, pass down to the low corner. Bork can't quite make a play on the puck, and the Wild can't clear. Myers sets it down at the blue line. Penalty coming to Minnesota. I'm going to guess it was a high stick. Let's see what happened. Bork just went down hard. Brodin is going to the box. It's a 2-minute high stick. Brodin's arguing about it. Not surprised in the slightest, but let's see what the penalty looks like. And we went to commercial break instead. I guess we'll see it in about 90 seconds when they come back. I hate when they do that. All right. Stars on the power play with 11:33 to go in the third. Sabres on the power play with a minute 22 left. Sorry, a minute. Sabres. A minute 22 left on the power play with 8:10 left in the game. Over the Kings 2-1. Flyers over the Sharks 2-1 with 7:49 to go in the third. And the Kraken have scored to make it a game. Blue Jackets up 4-2 over Seattle, 6:44 to go in the second. Again, still to come at 4. Islanders, Canadiens in Montreal, Maple Leafs, and Senators in Ottawa. That would actually be the game to watch. Probably not going to be a great hockey game, but it should be a fun boxing match. Blues, Canucks in Vancouver. Then at 5 o'clock, the Bruins and the Red Wings. And finally, 7 o'clock, the Lightning and the Oilers. I most likely will come and hang out just because I feel like, I was calling it Toronto, Ottawa is going to be a physical game. Tampa and Edmonton is going to be not even worth watching, because I think Tampa is just going to be absolutely abusive and do a lot of bullshit. And I would never want to support or watch that except for it being against Edmonton. I'm like, fuck it. Let's check it out. It's like, we're going to want to watch that game for sure. Face off coming to the right of Gustafson. Let's see. We got Ben, Robertson, Johnston. Guessing that's Duchesne and Heiskanen on the ice for Dallas. To the high. Yep. Heiskanen to the high corner. Down low. Back to Heiskanen out on top of the circles. Swings wide. Ben gets it to the point. I hate this angle. I can't see anything. Top of the low circle. Ben gets it to the baseline. Duchesne had to force the skate to the top of the circle. Ben up close. Pass to the middle. Shot and stop by Gustafson. Wyatt Johnston with a great opportunity right in the middle of the dots. But Gustafson makes a fantastic save. I dig that they do other angles because it makes the game a little more interesting. But it makes it so hard to see what's going on because the camera doesn't cover all the ice. And so you just, there's no reading the play. It's a lot harder to read the play. Heiskanen from up high, passes it to Robertson on the high wall. Back to Heiskanen, back to Robertson, top of the high circle, shot hits Faber way out high, and it dropped him. Trennan's going to take the puck back the other way as Faber gets helped to the bench. Robertson turning up with speed right through the middle, passes it across, misses his original target, but Duchesne collects. Ben back to the point. That Heiskanen back to Ben, back to Heiskanen to Robertson on the top of the high circle, baseline, back to Robertson, Heiskanen at the blue line, 50 seconds on the power play. Pass goes high, baseline, trying to stuff it. And Gustafson makes the stop on Johnston. Heiskanen all the way across the ice to the high dot. Back to Heiskanen in the middle shot. Hits bodies out high and goes into the corner. Those shooting lanes are not as open as these guys seem to think they are. Heiskanen skates it in. His body's out high again. Is their goal to just beat the shit out of the skaters versus trying to score? Absolute chaos drill in front of the crease. And finally, Minnesota is able to get it clear with 10 seconds left on the man advantage. Dallas right back in, and we are even strength. Back to the blue line. Harley throws it towards the net wide. Bunting gets beat to the puck. That looked like a trip on Spurgeon to me, but no call. Absolute battle for it in the corner. Finally comes free. Faber, who took that puck and got right back on his feet real quick. Gets the puck to Middleton, who dumps it all the way down. No icing. Harley collects in the corner. Minnesota keeps it in. Great pass across, but Bork's there to pick up the puck. Harley working through neutral, tries to leave it back, but he puts it into skates. And the puck luck falls in Dallas's favor. Beck tosses it down and around into the high corner. Right back up the low wall. Myers sets it towards the net. It hits bodies out front. Nothing is getting through the traffic in front of the net for Dallas. Bischel working against Brink. Gets it behind Gustafson. Back to the point. Myers keeps it in. Holds on the shot. Works it to the corner or to the boards and then dumps it in all the way around to the high corner. Back to below the net. Ernie sets it on the high point. Across the blue line to Myers. He hesitates and then finally shoots. He's got to start pulling the trigger on the one-timer. All the way back to the high point. Working down the boards. And picked off as they try to go from the point to the corner. Wild. Big hit up high. No call. I think it was right here, but that was a big hit. And I'm surprised that there's not some. Steele looks like he's bleeding. Yeah, so Steele's bleeding. I thought it was a high hit, and it was a high hit. No, that was Steele. Wait. Okay, I'm taking it back. Anything that happened to Steele right there was kind of his own fault because he initiated the contact up high. Caleb Dobson, come on, Stars. Hey, welcome in. They were the ones that I put my money on. I was supposed to do a poll, and I totally forgot the last two games. We'll have to do it for Tampa and Edmonton tonight. Hoping that Tampa goes into Edmonton and just absolutely kick ass on three and beats the hell out of them. But meanwhile, back here, it would be, I got to say, I can't get myself to support saying, come on, Stars. I'll read it. I support you saying it, but I can't get behind it. You guys got so much talent on your team, but there's a bad taste there. But you're not Edmonton, so we can be friends. No, you guys getting Rantanen back is going to be huge. Sagan coming back is going to be huge. I know there was somebody else for you guys that was out. I know you have like 4 skaters out right now, but the big ones were Rantanen, Sagan, and somebody else that I just can't remember right now. That's what actually made the Colorado-Dallas game so interesting was Colorado had Landeskog and Lankinen out and 2 other guys. And Dallas had guys out. You bet on Wild or the Stars? I have too much. I have zero faith in either team to put money on anything. But I would have bet on the Stars in this game. I said it in the at the end of the last stream. Oh yeah, never mind. Never mind. I was being super harsh against Sagan. Or sorry, against Steele. Because he initiated the contact. What Steele did was perfectly fine. In reaction and preparation for it, for Brink, he just high stick, cross checked the ever living shit out of Steele. That is 100% a legitimate penalty.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
But yeah, Caleb, I said it earlier. In this game, I would bet Stars the whole way. And it's mostly for this reason right here, the special teams, which, so this is their fourth power play. They're 1 for 3. So Minnesota has done really well considering. Gustafsson stepped up, but now you have a 4-minute double minor. I don't even know why they're explaining it to the coach. That was absolutely a clear high stick. Steele came in to make a hit, but dude reacted by punching him in the face with the stick. I'm sorry, there's no complaining about that. Go wild. Yep. We'll see. Wink. They're gonna need a little bit of a miracle here. Big save, Gustafsson on Duchesne right off the bat. 7 seconds in, and they already have a great opportunity. Just right off the face-off to the high point. Heiskanen through the middle, passes it up high to Robertson, down low to Johnston, and Duchesne's right in the middle. Minnesota is struggling with shutting down the front of their crease, which we know about. Vegas's penalty kill has actually been really good, so it's been a lot better. Like, during our penalty kill, we're good at shutting down between the circles, but Minnesota's struggling really bad right now. And we struggle 5-on-5, which is weird to me. Ben on the low baseline, up to the outside of the low circle. Duchesne passes it to the top of the low circle. Back down to Duchesne, trying to go out front to Ben, but good protection by Faber. Locks up the stick of Jamie Benn. 40 seconds gone in the double minor. 7 minutes to go in the game. Shots at 24-23 Dallas. Leaving it. Sorry, Minnesota. 24-23 Minnesota. And Dallas. Johnston loses it to Boldy. Right in the zone, but a great play by Duchesne to recover it. And now Dallas keeps it in. Heiskanen to the low wall to Ben. Ben goes into the corner to Lindell Robertson coming all the way out to Heiskanen. Shot gets tipped on its way to the net, and Gustafsson makes the save. Down on the low wall, Robertson gets it to Johnston. Right through the middle, pass it to the top dot. Heiskanen's shot gets knocked down. Puck into the corner. 2.5 to go on the double minor. And Minnesota is able to find the puck and clear it all the way back down. 20 seconds to go on the first bit of the penalty kill. Bork makes the pass across the ice, and Dallas, it is in, but a good stick is now a foot race back the other way. Spurgeon makes the pass across. And stuffed Ottinger makes the save on the lone gunman. Sturm racing right down the middle. A great poke check at out high. Like Boldy can't get the pass past Duchesne. That was earlier. Hang on, I'm waiting for the replay here. Shot from the blue line gets tipped by Johnston, but Gustafsson's waiting there. And there it is. McCarron makes a great poke check up high on Duchesne, and then it becomes a 2-on-1 foot race. Pass across the middle is on target to Sturm. A little bit of a reach, but he's able to reset, gets a little too close to Otter. Otter shuts him down. So that was great playing for the Wild penalty kill. 3 seconds left on the first half of the double minor. All right. Good job so far, Minnesota. Let's see it. Dallas leaves it at the red line. Into the zone goes Bork. Stick knocks it away, but he recovers. Bunting in the low corner goes back up to the high boards, and Minnesota clears it. Dallas working through neutral. Bork leaves it back to Robertson, who enters and makes a good pass to Duchesne, who can't control the puck on the low boards. Back to Bork at the point. Back down to Duchesne on the wall. All the way across the ice, and Bork can't quite handle a clean pass to Harley, so Dallas is forced back to neutral. 75 seconds on the power play. Harley goes back down the low boards. Duchesne to the middle. A quick shot stopped by Gustafson. Robertson is getting shut down. Big hit in the high corner. Looked a little close to interference. Duchesne's wide open shot at the net off the low dot goes wide. Harley across the blue line. Back to Harley. His shot gets tipped and goes well wide of the net. Boldy collects at his own blue line. Tosses it down to Ottinger. 45 seconds on the Dallas power play. Harley kicks it back for Duchesne across the red line and into the zone past Spurgeon. Back up the low wall. Jamie Benn leaves it off for Duchesne in the low corner. Back to Benn on the baseline. Read perfectly out front by Spurgeon. And Gustafson covers up the puck. 24 seconds left on the 4-minute double minor to Brink. And special teams has definitely made the difference. Dallas going, opening up on the power play. Every power play since, you're expecting Dallas to get one in, but the Wild have done very well. Let's see if they can keep it up. Face off on the left dot. Foligno against Johnston. Minnesota wins it and clears it down. 15 seconds on the power play. 4 minutes in the period. Dallas. Johnston into the zone on the high wall. Passes it across. All the way down. Pass to Beck gets cut off and Minnesota takes it. And we are back to full strength hockey. Very impressive penalty kill for the Minnesota Wild. 3:30 to go. Lundqvist skates it out, hits the red line and dumps it in on the low boards all the way around to the high corner. Faber tries to get it to Hughes. It's up the low wall, but Dallas is there first. Back into the high corner. Bischel against Zuccarello. Puck comes right back out, and Minnesota's going to go the other way. Zuccarello cuts down to the low boards, passes it back to the point. Hughes to Faber in the middle of the ice at the blue line. Back to Hughes after Faber froze. Back to Faber outside the high circle. His shot hits Lundqvist or Bischel right in front of him and goes to the backboards. Myers finds the puck, softly gets it up the low wall, and Dallas is going to send it all the way back for an icing. 2:39 on the clock. Shots are 27-26 Dallas, and we are locked in a 1-1 battle. I knew we chose a good game to stick around for. Blue Jackets and the Kraken in second intermission, 4-2 Blue Jackets. Islanders, Canadians still to come. Leafs, Senators still to come. Blues, Canucks, Bruins, Red Wings, and we should be here later for the Lightning Oilers. Keep an eye out for that one. If you're subbed up, you should see it about an hour beforehand. Penguins beat the Jets in a shootout 5-4. Sabres over the Kings 4-1. Flyers over the Sharks 4-1. Big shot from Hughes from the center of the ice above the dots. Hits a whole bunch of bodies. And now you got a Wild who just got dunked. Hartman lays down and covers his head. I'd like to see. It looked a little iffy on what happened. I don't know. We got to see that one. Puck dumped in by Dallas. Favors back on the low boards. Lets it go all the way up to Hartman. Hartman's pass is cut off and sent the other way. So who is that down there? Is that Johnston that lost his stick? No, it's Bunting lost his stick, and he's complaining about it. Puck goes back the other way for a Minnesota icing. I'm curious to see what Bunting was complaining about there. I'm curious to see what happened to Hartman in front of the net. Oh, he got cross-checked to the chin. Bastion, at least to me, it looked like Bastion straight up cross-checked Hartman to the chin. Obviously wasn't too bad as Hartman popped up, but still. Minnesota wins the face-off in their own zone. Faber to Hughes, back to Faber in the low corner, up the low wall, and he'll kick it right back to Jack Hughes. Hughes into neutral, tosses it in and takes a hit. Puck doesn't go anywhere, though. They have to backtrack it into Minnesota territory. Hughes across the ice. And right back to number 43. Off the low boards, pass ahead to Boldy. It gets tipped and into the zone. Heiskanen takes a bump to make the play. Dallas back the other way. Bork right through the center into the zone. Great back check by Boldy to take the puck the other way. Passes just ahead of Johansson. Here comes Dallas, 3-on-2. Minnesota recovered well. Good defense up front. Who was that? I always forget his name. Brodeen. Minute on the clock in the game. Dallas are leading in shots 28-7. Better attack. Well, mutual attacks better probably coming from Dallas following that following the penalty. However, Minnesota at home, double minor stoppage. That's big. A little high hit happened through the middle, but Brink just takes it right on down to the crease off the low wall. Stop by Otter from the high point. Puck comes in tight. Otter makes the stop. Minnesota control it. 24 seconds on the clock. Middleton throws it towards the net. Kicked out to the high corner. Faber trying to play it up the boards, but it is a very slow puck. Foligno trying to work it back below the net. 10 seconds to go. Back up to the high point. Minnesota. Brink fakes the shot. Attacks the top of the high circle. Shot comes in wide, and we are going to overtime. This has actually been, there's been a lot of calls, a lot of missed shit that could have changed, could have changed momentum, not score, not anything like that. However, the calls that have been made have been appropriate, so we can at least say that's an improvement in typical NHL officiating. I can say that. But I thought the whack to Steele was going to shut everything down, dude. And like I said, I blamed Steele at first. It looked like Steele went in high and the guy just tried to protect himself. When you really go and look at it, Steele comes in high and Brink loads up and cross-checks him to the face. So it's like, you have to call that a double minor. And then for Minnesota to shut down the Dallas power play for, let's see, 1 for 5. What's the minutes? Yeah. 12 minutes. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So yeah, 1 for 5, 12 minutes of power plays. On 12 minutes of power plays, that's big showing up for Minnesota. And Gustafsson has been the main reason that Minnesota is still in this game. Because out of the 29 shots he's faced so far, there have been a lot of good attempts, a lot of good pressure. Same with Andre. Like, both goalies have been phenomenal this game. This isn't the Golden Knights getting 21 shots in the first period, but all of them, would take zero athleticism to stop. This is like actual legit goaltending. That sounded more insulting towards Antonin than I meant. It just, like I said, it's he was working, just not too hard. Let's do it. Here, we'll do that to mark that it is 3-on-3. I need to make a little OT banner. I need to make a penalty banner. I'm good. Sorry, total sidetrack while we wait for puck drop. Zuccarello versus Johnston on the dot. No, Hartman versus Johnston on the dot. Puck goes in favor of Dallas. Heiskanen cycling from his own territory into neutral. Expect Dallas is very patient. So as long as they control the puck, it's going to be a lot of that. Johnston cycling right back. You don't need to go in the zone with all three guys in one corner. With speed, Johnston enters, but he's going to leave it back for Heiskanen, who kicks it out as the pass was well off of Heiskanen's stick. Stars got 40 on him, and the Sabres won. My last one to complete the two-leg. Big shot goes wide. Collected. Yeah, you have the better odds, in my opinion. I just realized Kaprizov isn't playing. Steele collects in neutral as he works the puck to the high boards. Dallas still in control. Here comes Harley on the low dot, working around the back of the net, trying to feed it out front, but he hits Gustafson's skate. No one knows where the puck is. It was right next to the leg of Gustafson. Dallas is going to maintain control. Duchesne down the high boards to the high dot. Behind the net, cuts back. Boldy gets interfered with. No penalty. That was absolutely a pick play. Shot goes off Gustafson's stick. A hold on Duchesne by Jack Hughes. Both of those could have been called. But the refs leave the whistles in their pockets. Minnesota now gets their attempt to get heavy on offense. Hughes and Boldy off the ice. Johansson now with Faber. And I can't see this number. Zuccarello down into the low boards. Passes it towards the middle. Faber will cycle back to neutral. Very, very patient teams. Like, you got to give them that. I know a lot of people don't like 3-on-3 because it's slow, but I love this shit. Great move for Faber. Shot from the middle of the ice. Ends up going off the back glass. Zuccarello carries it back out into neutral. 2:40 to go in overtime. Shots are 29-27 in favor of Dallas. Into the zone goes Jack Hughes. Across the ice, backdoor shot. Stopped by Otter. Great chance. Shut down by the Dallas goaltender. Yeah, Wing, I love it. Like, I'm happy they do golden goal for playoffs and Stanley Cup stuff, but for regular season, I love 3-on-3. I almost wish it was 3-on-3 golden goal instead of shootouts. Hughes makes a move from his own zone and cuts up the ice with speed. Cutting to the middle, pass to the high dot, gets knocked away. All the way across the ice, Tarasenko's left wide open, he shoots, and he scores. That's the wrong. There we go. Stressful with a bet on it, but yeah, I love 3-on-3 so much more than a shootout. Absolutely, Caleb, 100%. Unfortunately, the Stars did not pull through for your two-leg. That's 100% on Dallas. You have all three Stars on the high side of the high dot. Like, nobody, if they were playing man or zone, they both fucked it up. Stars lost. I'm with you, Jonathan. Like I said, sucks you don't get paid, but Stars lost. And like I said, I thought the Stars were going to win it, man, but Minnesota is good. I do think it'll be, my dad and I were talking about it. Minnesota, Colorado get into a series together. Colorado may be in trouble. But Avalanche taking the cup is my best guess at the moment. What a game, though. Let's see if there's anything else going on before I take a break. Nope. Just the Kraken and the Blue Jackets, and the Jackets are up 4-2. Yeah, yep. The Wild come away with it in overtime. Dallas was dominating at first. As soon as Minnesota got control of the puck, though, it was over. Dallas just could do nothing to get it back. And then when the goal is scored, you had 3 Dallas Stars above the high circles or above the high dots. All 3 of them were on the high side of the high dot. So Tarasenko's standing there like, walks right up on Ottinger and rocket of a shot beats him high. So that was a much more enjoyable game than the Knights game. I think I'm going to come back at 7 o'clock for the Oilers and the Lightning. So keep an eye out for that one. Usually if you're subbed, you'll see it something like an hour before we go live. If you're new, here for every Golden Knights game, and then at least one game every day, hopefully, as long as the games are interesting, we try and stream every day. Once we make it to playoffs, or even if the Golden Knights don't make it to playoffs, when hockey goes to playoffs, we'll be here for every playoff game. But yeah, that's the pitch. Anyway, 7 o'clock tonight. Keep an eye out for it. Tampa Bay in Edmonton against the Oilers. So you got an abusive, penalty-heavy team against a team that I don't think anybody would argue gets favorable calls when they are at home. The Edmonton is just one of those teams. I'm not even trying to talk shit. I think the refs suck no matter where they are at. It just, hockey seems to be played a little differently in certain arenas. There's a couple of, Dallas is one, Colorado, make a little mark. There's certain things where it's just like, okay, let's see how that Tampa. But yeah, so Lightning in Edmonton against the Oilers. It should be an absolute abusive boxing match of 60 minutes. And occasionally we might even get to see a hockey game. So keep an eye out for that one. And I'll hope to see you there. If I don't, we will be live tomorrow, 4 p.m. as the Golden Knights take on Dallas again, which is going to be very, very hard to watch, but sure as shit, we'll be here. Base needs to go 8-4 or better to keep their playoff dreams alive. Okay, so dreams are a great way to put that. They need to play very well to keep even a dream. If the Golden Knights had Magic on their side, we'd be screwed. They could rub a lamp. Genie pops out. They wish for a goal. And the Genie would be like, all right, you will now score a goal. And it would be an own goal on Schmid. That's Vegas right now. But all right, guys. Hey, as always, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, keeping the chat alive, keeping the conversation going. We will be back in a couple hours here. It's about 3 hours before Tampa and Edmonton go live. So we will be back then. I look forward to seeing you guys. If I don't see you then, tomorrow, 4 o'clock against Dallas. Everybody enjoy your Saturday. I will see you soon.